Do you want to up your Excel game using the recently added XLOOKUP function in Excel? I'm a productivity coach, and today I show you how. Hi, I'm Stuart Riddell, the productivity coach, and I'm a modern work customer success manager at Microsoft. And today I'm going to switch gears a little bit and look at Excel, because I want to talk about the XLOOKUP function. Now, it's been a few months since XLOOKUP was added into Microsoft Excel. Think about it as like the child of VLOOKUP. It is more powerful, it is more flexible, and it is much, much easier to use. So let's have a look at it and see how you could use XLOOKUP to simplify your data practices. So here I am in Excel here, and I've actually got this sample data from contextures.com. It's a great place to go and grab some sample data that you can use just to kind of experiment with. Okay, so this piece of data I've got here is all based around insurance policies. So I've got a column here for the policy number, when it expires, the location, state, region, etc. A whole load of things here. And so let's have a look and see what a VLOOKUP looks like. So in my table, I've got the policy number. So that's what we're going to use to look up. And then I want to return the location and the region. So all we're going to do, so this is VLOOKUP. So I'm going to do equals VLOOKUP. And the first one is, what am I looking up? So I'm looking up this number. Okay. And the next one is the table array. So this is all of the data that we're going to be doing the lookup on. Okay, so I'm going to go here and I'm actually going to go with the column headers. Now, the restriction that you have on VLOOKUP is the thing that you're looking for has to be in the far left-hand column. Okay, so this works for us here because the policy number is in that far left-hand column, and we're going to be returning the location and the region that's here. But if for some reason you're constrained and your data actually has to be in the middle, then you won't be able to use VLOOKUP. But we're all right today for this one. So I've got my policy there. I'm going to hit comma. Then we need to do the col index num, which is the column index number. Now I can hear you saying, well, actually at the top here, we've got letters. We don't even have numbers. Okay, but we actually want to do the 1, 2, 3, the third column there for location. Now, if you've got a really big spreadsheet, then it can be a real pain to work out what the column index number is. Or if they've got hidden columns, that makes life even more difficult. Okay, and then the last parameter here we've got is whether we say true for an approximate match or false for an exact match. So I'm going to go with an exact match there. Okay, so there is, and we've got an NA because we've not looked anything up yet. So let's do that again for the region. So VLOOKUP, I'm going to look up that piece of data. Okay, and I'm going to look this up in this table here. Okay, and it's region, so I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth column. Okay, and same as before, we want false because we want an exact match. Okay, I'm just going to drag that down so I can demonstrate this. Lovely. So if I do A100-399, I can see here that it's Urban East. So let's just check that on our policy data. So A100-399 Urban East. Okay, but if I do B100-399, I keep that NA error, that hashtag NA error. So if you wanted to give a more meaningful error message around that, then you've got to do another function that wraps around it that detects whether there is an error. And if there is an error, then it gives a specific error message. And then if it isn't, then it puts in the value of the function thing that you're looking for in the first place. So it's really actually quite complicated to generate a meaningful error message that tells somebody what they've done wrong. So let's have a look and see how much easier this could be using XLOOKUP. So I've got another copy of the policy data here, but you can see, just to mix things up a little bit, the policy number is in the middle of the table here. So as we're returning the location and the region data, this table configuration would not work for VLOOKUP. You have to use XLOOKUP for this. So let's move to our table here. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put the policy number. So I'm going to start here, same as before, XLOOKUP. Okay, first one is the lookup value, so no change there. Now, first change here, it says lookup array. So not the whole table, just where are we looking for that value. So what I'm going to do is go back to my policy data here, and I'm just going to highlight the policy column. Then the next one is the return array. So what do you need to return? So this time I'm going to return the location column. Okay, you can see how this is much easier already, because if you had a really wide spreadsheet, you could just scroll along, whack that in, and you find it much, much easier. Okay, Then we've got this new parameter here which says if not found. So this is where I can put an error message if it's not found. So I can write policy number invalid. Okay, and then the last two parameters, I've got match mode, same as before, but slightly different options. So I've got an exact match, same as before, but then I've got an exact match or the next smaller number, or an exact match or the next larger number. So if we're working with numbers, you can use that to dictate whether we're going to go up or down, depending on your business rules. And then the last one is a wildcard character match. Okay, so I'm just going to stick with the exact match. And then the last one is the search mode. So again, think about if you've got really massive spreadsheets, you might want to tweak how the search works, but we're not going to do that today because we've actually got quite a small one. So I'm just going to close that off there. Okay, and I'm going to do that again for the region. So equals XLOOKUP. I'm going to look up the policy number. Okay, and we're going to look that up in the policy column. We're going to return the region. So I've done a comma and then the region. Okay. And then if not found, so I'm going to say policy number invalid. And if you're typing an error in there, make sure you put it in quotes so that it knows it's a piece of text. And then we're going to go for an exact match here. Lovely. So then let's just fill it down so we've got something to work with. So same as before, I'm going to go A100 399. And you can see that it's returned Urban East for me. And if I put B100 399 there now, you can see that it's given me the error message, policy number invalid. That is so much easier than doing it the other way, where you've got to wrap all of those functions together. Okay, so hopefully you found that really, really easy and found it very useful. So if VLOOKUP has been your workhorse in the past, I would definitely recommend that you switch over to XLOOKUP, because as I say, it is easier, it's quicker to work with, and it's much more powerful and allows you to open up a whole load of different lookup scenarios without having to reconfigure your data. So hopefully you found it useful. If you did, please go onto YouTube, make sure that you like, that you subscribe, you hit that little notification bell so that you get notified whenever new content comes out, and just share it with a friend. There must be other people in your office who are using VLOOKUP every day who could find it much, much easier using XLOOKUP. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again on another video